So we're going to start with chapter 1. Good place to start. This is about matter, measurement, and problem solving. The book has a little quote at the beginning of each chapter, and some of them are kind of interesting. This one's from Albert Einstein. The most incomprehensible thing about the universe is that it is comprehensible. Well, we're not going to do that, are we? Okay. So this is just, a hypothetical question. You don't have to answer out loud, but just give it a minute of thought. What do you think is the most important idea in all of human knowledge? You can go a lot of different ways with that. Well, if we limit ourselves to scientific answers, which is appropriate, it'd probably be this. The properties of matter are determined by the properties of molecules and atoms. We can understand how different materials behave by learning about how the atoms and molecules that make them up behave. And that allows us to create different kinds of matter, different compounds, by putting the atoms and molecules together in different ways. So we can make a metal that doesn't rust, or a bulletproof material, or a plastic that biodegrades by looking at the molecules and atoms. Well, what are atoms? So atoms are submicroscopic particles, meaning too small to see with a microscope. And they constitute the fundamental building blocks of ordinary matter. We're not talking about particle physics and stuff like that. In general chemistry, the atom is the building block, and I'll refer to them as being like Legos sometimes. The fundamental building blocks. We see free atoms by themselves, very rarely in nature. Usually atoms are combined with other atoms. And they bind together in specific arrangements, and those are called molecules. So here we have an illustration of a water molecule, and this contains one hydrogen atom and two hydrogen atoms, and they're stuck together. Okay, we'll learn. Pardon me?
3 hydrogen atoms?
2 hydrogen atoms. Yeah.
Sorry, you said hydrogen.
Oh, did I? So, yeah, I probably did. 1 oxygen and 2 hydrogens. I do that sometimes. Please correct me. So the properties of the water molecule determine the properties of water. This is a hydrogen peroxide molecule. It's quite similar to a water molecule. The only difference is this has 2 oxygen atoms instead of just 1. Might seem like a minor change, but water and hydrogen peroxide have very, very different qualities, right? Water is necessary to sustain life. We drink water, right? If you drink hydrogen peroxide, it'll probably kill you, right? Dilute solutions of hydrogen peroxide are useful for cleansing wounds and stuff, but if you drink the stuff straight, you're not going to be able to talk about it later. So small differences have big differences in the properties of the substance. So if we want to understand the substances around us, we need to understand the properties of atoms and molecules, and that's the central goal of chemistry. So we could define chemistry as the science that seeks to understand the behavior of matter by studying the behavior of atoms and molecules. And here they're showing us some pictures. This is graphite, like you might have in your pencil lead. And this is a diamond. And both of these substances are made out of the same atoms. They're just made out of carbon atoms. And yet, the qualities of these are very different. Graphite is soft and slippery. Diamonds are hard, and they're clear and colorless and shiny, and graphite is black, and, very different things. And why are they different? Because the atoms are stuck to each other, bonded in a different way. And that makes all the difference in the matter.